So picture this. The year is 2008. A young 21-year-old musician releases his debut EP, Games in the Dark, with one of the tracks going on to be an English summer anthem sung across countless music festivals and gigs just 3 years later. Fast forward to the year 2018, 10 years after his musical debut, he would release his third LP, Noonday Dream. Produced alongside his musical partner Mickey Smith, it's an epic record of 10 dreamy and experimental tracks, one of said tracks winning an Ivor Novello Award for Best Song Musically and Lyrically of that year. The artist's name is Ben Howard, but this video isn't about any of the aforementioned songs or albums. It's about a different song, just one song in particular. This one.
Birch tree lost its branch one day in violent winter.
You more than likely won't recognise the track due to the fact that it's never been released to the public. There is no studio recording of it, no Spotify session. In fact, as far as the listener is concerned, it doesn't even have a name. See, in 2018, with Ben Howard's release of Noonday Dream, he set off on 2 European promotional tours, as well as an American tour in the autumn. The setlist primarily featured songs from his latest album, with a handful of older favourites thrown in here and there. However, there was one song that stood out to audience goers, a song that they'd never heard anywhere before.
I bet you think everything's in its rightful place, that sentiment is man's disgrace.
Lyrically, the song is what I'd consider to be Howard's finest work. Its runtime is about 3.5 minutes long, unusually short considering Howard's tendency to write longer music around the 5 to 6 minute mark. It features no obvious verse-chorus structure, and it reads more like a poem, telling the story of Ben shooting a rookery in his back garden. It sets the scene in this opening line.
Birch tree lost its branch one day in violent winter.
With a time frame of winter, it recounts the event of a birch tree losing its branch. Howard believes this is due to the tree grieving, an idea shut down in the following line by you.
I said it was grieving, you said it don't feel nothing.
Whether that's you, the listener he's trying to address, you as in Ben talking to himself, or maybe even you, another person in the story, it's not clear. Either way, what is clear is that Howard doesn't share that same ideology as whoever you may be. He goes on to explain that the rooks in the trees have been bothering him, a rook being a species of crow often found nesting in the more rural countryside areas of the UK, a fitting description of Howard's hometown in the south of England. Again, perhaps persuading the listener to believe that this story is in fact based on a true story, his introduction at live shows furthering that belief.
There's a song about shooting rooks in the garden.
The song climaxes after the decision is made in the springtime to shoot and kill the birds. Here, you realise the song follows a non-linear structure, not unlike the songs of his musical inspirations. A popular example being the non-linear structure of Bob Dylan's All Along the Watchtower. Told in this way, you begin to understand that it's the rooks that the tree is grieving over at the beginning of the song, therefore losing its branch in the winter where the rookery would have once been. Howard ends up destroying the rookery, one that was 100 years old. He refers to himself in third person, maybe distancing himself from what he's done, as well as stating that the act is the definition of futility. Futility meaning pointlessness or uselessness, but it could also be a reference to Wilfred Owen's poem of the same name, written during the First World War. It wouldn't be the first time Howard has referenced early 19th and 20th century literature in his work. The title Noonday Dream comes from Thomas Pringle's poem A Noonday Dream, written in 1834. And on his previous album, the song End of the Affair, along with its title, shares many similarities with Graham Greene's 1950s novel The End of the Affair. His inspiration taken from British literature can be found throughout his work, even more so in his latest. He finishes the Untitled track by singing about how his life has resumed to normality. The history he destroyed has taken no physical toll to his everyday life, though it's unbeknown to him of the wind that took his eye. It's not the first time he's used wind as a metaphor in his music. On the 2012 EP, Burr Island, he references wind in a vague and evocative manner just like he does here. The final line is repeated to end the song, leaving the listener perhaps confused or in awe, or maybe even nostalgic for something they weren't even a part of. His music has always had a clear focus on what he's saying too. He talks about the effect his inspirations had on him from a young age in this interview from 2012.
I think perhaps the best influence the kind of songwriters like Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan and stuff had was that I've always been really conscious of lyrics, and I've always been very conscious of the meaning of songs rather than just going on melody and just going on the hooks and that sort of thing, like musical hooks. It's been I spend most of my time writing words, and I mean, fortunately the melodies and stuff come quite easily on the guitar and stuff, but yeah, it's mainly that sort of focus on lyrics and words.
It's also not the first time though that he's played unreleased material at live shows. If you take a look on YouTube, you can find a variety of unreleased music played only in front of a live audience. These songs though were performed once, maybe twice, before being hidden away in his catalogue of music, never to be played again. This song, however, this untitled masterpiece, was played every night for every show on his 2018 Noonday Dream Tour. It's a song that he's clearly proud of, therefore it seems strange for it not to have a place on the self-produced album. Maybe he couldn't find the right production style, maybe he felt it wouldn't fit the tone of the rest of the album. Or maybe there's a romantic quality to playing the song every night, ever so slightly changing the lyrics and performance every time he plays it. The song, like its writer, is continuously improving and evolving over time. From his beginnings in folk acoustic ballads to his current darker electric sound, Howard has proven himself to be one of the most underrated creative minds in modern music. This song being the perfect display of everything he has come to be as a musician in the last 12 years. Maybe one day we'll be able to hear the definitive studio version, but I doubt it. Hi everyone, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, comment down below, it'd be much appreciated. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Gorkem for providing the music to this video. I've left his Spotify link as well as his YouTube channel link just roughly in this area, so make sure to go and show him some support. Also, I'd like to thank benlock for providing the audio mixing to this video as well. Again, I've left his email address, his social media, as well as his website just down here, so if you need any engineering work done for your audio, he's the guy to ask. And finally, I'd just like to thank everybody who has ever subscribed to this channel, who's ever watched a video, shared a video, liked or commented. It really has meant the world to me. More than likely this is going to be my last video for a while. I've got no plans to make any more videos in the foreseeable future, so hopefully you've enjoyed the 3 years that I've been making these videos. But yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching for the last 3 years. It really has meant a lot. This has been by far my biggest and most popular creative endeavour. So thanks very much. See you later.